found that women are about twice as likely as men to be diagnosed with depression, and that psychosocial factors, such as role conflict, caregiving burdens, social expectations, contribute significantly. Another source of pressure is society's stigma around mental health. While women might suffer more or report more, sometimes because they are more likely to seek help, to notice emotional suffering, to articulate it. Men may underreport due to norms around masculinity, leading to data that shows less suffering, but perhaps more hidden suffering. But reporting doesn't reduce suffering. In fact, being aware but under-resourced in support, therapy, time, rest, compounds emotional distress. Consider anecdotal examples. A woman balancing work, caring for children or elderly parents, managing household tasks, social expectations. When any one area gets harder, job stress, illness, loss, the load cascades. There is less psychological buffer. Another example, teenage girls in modern contexts are experiencing high social media pressure, appearance, comparison, cyberbullying, all of which heighten anxiety, depression, body dissatisfaction. Research indicates adolescent girls are more likely to perceive social rejection compared to boys, and social rejection is a strong trigger of emotional distress. There are studies showing that emotional volatility, moment-to-moment differences in mood, is higher among women with children, separated or poor, and among young women. One UK study with 41,000 participants found that women without children report substantially greater emotional volatility than men, and that women with children also experience more frequent extreme emotional lows than other demographic groups. Moving into social reasons, structural inequalities, such as gender pay gap, discrimination, double burden of domestic plus professional work, fewer leadership roles, create ongoing stressors. For example, women often have less access to material power, face more skepticism or pressure in male-dominated workplaces, and carry societal expectations that intensify pressure. To look a certain way, to behave kindly, to maintain emotional peace, to nurture relationships even when tired. These compounding stressors over time lead to what psychologists call allostatic load, the wear and tear on the body from chronic stress. Biologically, high allostatic load is linked with higher levels of cortisol, dysregulation of sleep, immune function weakening, susceptibility to illness, emotional burnout, and emotional suffering is not just psychological, but embodied. Evolutionary pressures also shaped women's lifespan. The health survival paradox, women often live longer but with more morbidity, shows that women tend to live more years in poor health or with emotional and physical illnesses. Emotional suffering is part of that greater morbidity. Also, on social roles, women are more often primary caregivers, children older relatives, which means more emotional exposure,